Just when you thought the WNBA players couldn't get any dumber, couldn't come out with more ridiculous statements, they never cease to amaze with the stupid that comes out of their mouths. And we're going to talk about it on this edition and episode of Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball, where we talk facts and feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez. Show me hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Appreciate y'all continued support. I know we're a little bit less on the women's coverage right now. We're not in season. Caitlin Clark's not playing. Like I told y'all before, if Caitlin Clark doesn't play, I don't have a whole lot to talk about, but this is obviously an important topic to discuss. And I am going to be doing women's college ball, and I have done some videos on that as we're getting closer to the beginning of, well, they've already in season, but the beginning of the real games, because a lot of these games right now are nothing but fluffery and padding of schedules. That said, the WNBA has extended another offer to the women players, the WNBPA. And now apparently the response from the WNBPA is out. And let's talk about this offer. Before we jump in, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, ring that bell. I appreciate y'all's support. So the league's proposal, first reported by the AP and confirmed by ESPN earlier this week, includes a revenue sharing component that, in combination with a base salary, would allow players to earn a maximum salary of more than $1.1 million and an average of more than 460,000 and a minimum of more than 220,000. In 2025, the league's minimum salary was $66,079 and its supermax was $249,244. That is a 400% increase on max salary, more than 400%. This is a, what, 66 times 3 times, almost a 400% on the minimum salary. And for the average to be 460,000, you are talking about an increase of about 400% as well. Because I'm going to guess that the average salary in the WNBA is probably 100 grand. So you're getting a 400% increase plus to play in the WNBA in a league that still has trouble selling out arenas in almost every venue, has 6 teams that are still playing in arenas that are the size of a glorified high school gym. And they sit here and they still complain about what they're not getting. So, according to the union and sources that told ESPN, the players' union does not believe the league's proposal includes a system where the salary cap and player salaries sufficiently grow with the business, a long-standing demand of the players since they opted out of the current CBA in October of 24. Please explain to me, like I am a 5-year-old, what in the hell have these women done to grow this business? This is the problem that continues to exist. These players have not grown any business. They haven't. No matter how much they want to tell you that they have not. Only one player has grown the business, and we know what her name is. And they only started to use her name now because it works for them. Because when it was time to talk about her a year ago, they had nothing to say. She wasn't part of the reason. She was just, she wasn't the reason. She was not even named as part of the reason. This crap is ridiculous. Please lock out. I pray these owners lock these illogical, delusional human beings out of the game. Lock them out. Make them play with a Saudi league. Make them play it unrivaled. Let them go. They are replaceable. They are replaceable. Bad basketball is replaceable. Whether it's them or players in college right now, bad ball is still bad ball. Maybe the ball will become better by replacing these players. And the players that want to stick around, they continue to play. But the style of this game the rugged nature in which it's played. And I'm not saying I don't like physical. I love physical. Their rugged nature isn't physical, it's clumsy. They fall a lot. They're unathletic, they're uncoordinated, they're not skilled. So what they do a lot of is foul over and over and over again, to the point where you got people saying the referees are horrible. And yeah, they might very well be, but if you want every call made, you might be here for like 3 days per game. So according to this, the players do not want a fixed salary system, and said they want one more based directly on revenue. Well, what if the revenue is lower than you think it's going to be? Are you willing to go the opposite direction? Are you willing to take pay cuts? See, that's the thing that they want to ignore. You want it in terms of growth of revenue. How much revenue has truly grown in the WNBA over the last 2 years that's not predicated specifically and solely on the back of one Caitlin Clark? She is the reason for the growth in revenue. She is the reason for the franchise fees, for which you're not entitled. You're not entitled to franchise fees. That's not league revenue. That's individual revenue for selling a team. Or I'm sorry, the league selling a team, and that money gets distributed amongst the owners. Maybe the league gets a little piece of it. These are the owners recouping money that they've sunk into this league that's lost forever. Like, do you know how much it costs to run a game at an arena? Think about it for one quick second. The cost of renting a facility, they don't own their facilities. The cost of security, the cost of staff, the cost of the lights, the cost of the referees, the cost of the people on the desk, the cost. You tell me how much it costs, and you tell me at the end how much that game made. And I'm going to run it just for the sake of shits and giggles. In a dumpy ass 4,000 seat arena that the Atlanta Dream play in, if they sold every ticket for $100, and we know damn well that ain't the case. We know it. 400,000 in revenue. Okay. How much does it cost to light the building up? How much does it cost to pay refs, staff, police? Your largest cost is typically security. Oh yeah, now you got to pay salaries out of this $400,000 to not just players but to employees. Like, they forget that revenue pays people who work for the organization, not just themselves. Revenue pays the VP, the president, the coach, the trainers, the doctors, whoever, the lawyers, the COO, the CEO, the president. I mean, whatever. It doesn't just pay them. So if I play 20 games at home, 22 games at home, times 400,000, that means you generated 8.8 million in revenue off of people going to games. We know that's not accurate. That might be accurate in 2 buildings or 3 buildings in America: Indiana, Golden State, and New York. The rest of these teams aren't generating this type of money. And we know the tickets aren't selling for $100. They're selling for $25 if they're lucky. So miss me with the nonsense. The league previously said in a statement it has proposed significant guaranteed salary cap increases and substantial uncapped revenue sharing that enables players' salaries to grow as the league's business grows. The union responded in a statement that said the proposal put lipstick on a pig and retread a system that isn't tied to any part of the business and intentionally undervalues the players. In the current CBA, the salary cap increased annually by a fixed rate of 3%, coming in at 1.507 in 2025, and a separate revenue sharing provision called for direct payments to players if the league hit certain revenue targets. That component has yet to be triggered over the course of the agreement. You had a separate provision that called for direct payments to players if the league hit certain revenue targets, and it never has. What does that tell you? They signed this deal because they believed they would hit these targets. That means those targets are really, really low. So, what do they want to do now instead? They want to guarantee. They want to have a constantly sliding scale. They want that guarantee, not some trigger number. They want it from zero. They want it from zero. Yeah. Bro, child, please. Child, please. They are realizing that the deal that they signed is not one that they can ever reach because they don't draw flies to poop. People don't watch. They're not hitting revenue numbers because half their buildings are completely empty. Part of revenue numbers include selling tickets and merch. People don't buy it unless you're a couple of players in the league. They don't buy it. People are canceling the WNBA app in the league pass in droves. They don't want to watch. It's $36 and they still don't want it. You gotta be kidding me, man. What the hell is going on here? They really believe the shit they're shoveling. So yeah, we have a 30-day extension that they agreed to until November 30th. That is now what? 9 days out. That ends on Sunday of next week. Please lock them out. Please lock them out. Until they're locked out, they will not recognize reality. Until they lose whatever they get from not being locked out, they will not get come back to reality. You want to go play for Project B in Saudi next fall? Go for it. Do it. You want to go play it Unrivaled in January? Go for it. Do it. Make that your job. It's so easy until you're crying about what they're not paying you in Unrivaled because Unrivaled is not paying players $1 million. Are you kidding? You kidding? There's a reason the best ones ain't the most. Let's not use the word the best because there's a reason the best ones and the most high profile ones aren't playing this year. The best being Asia, Caitlin, Sabrina. High profile being Caitlin, Asia, Sabrina, Angel Reese. There's a reason they're not playing. Shit isn't worth it. They make so much money. Why put their bodies through it? There's no point. There's no point. For what? You think Angel Reese made $1 million playing an Unrivaled last year? You're out of your mind. There's no way. She would have been back. If they were paying her millions of dollars to play in that crap, she'd be playing right now. She'd be all in for it. They're not. Their average cut is 220, 200. They never prove it on paper because they don't have to. They don't have to. They don't have to. You think any player individually being cut a check for 800 grand in that league for 2.5 months of 3-on-3 basketball? You really believe that? Show me. Show me on paper. They will never do that because these players are not making remotely close to that. They're running this narrative of, oh, you have an equity in this trash can dumpster league. Great. Wonderful. Yeah, y'all tripping. They're tripping. Y'all tripping. These players out of their minds. So now you have 9 days. We're about to go into Thanksgiving break literally next week. You think they're going to have meetings next week? Do you think they're having meetings on Thursday or Friday of Thanksgiving weekend? Maybe they'll have one Monday. They're not meeting up. This is done. This should be done. But y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments, man. Getting a 400% raise and they're not happy. That's not enough. It's not enough, and it's never enough. Go play with the Project B. Expose yourself for being the hypocrites that you are. You've already done so. We all know the rest of them are coming. Go play it Unrivaled, where you can play 3-on-3 trash ball. You are replaceable, and I look forward to the day where the ownership just decides, you know what, we're gonna call a certain section of players. We're gonna this is how you break through to them. We're gonna call these players, and the rest of them go bye. All I need is this. All the WNBA needs. Hear me out here. All the WNBA needs is Asia Wilson, well, Caitlin Clark, Asia Wilson, Angel Reese, Sabrina Ionescu, and Paige Beckers. The rest of them can go. They don't need the rest of them. They need those 5. If you got those 5, maybe you can include the likes of that's 5. Those 5. That's all you need. You need those 5. Replace the rest of them with college players coming in next year. Replace them. They have a draft scheduled for the 23rd. That is what day? That is Sunday? Their expansion draft is scheduled for the 23rd. How are they doing it? Interesting. But yeah, replace the rest of them. Then those women can go get jobs somewhere else. Remember that all of them are free agents. They're all free agents. They chose this route. Obviously, you keep the 5 and you keep whatever's under contract. So there might be another 40, 50 players that might be under contract, if that, drafted players over the last couple years. Other than that, find replacements. They can go. Y'all let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. Ring that bell. This is Her Game, Her Way Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. Power. Come on now, the podcast. Come on now.